India know they don't have the option of Bumrah. The option they do have is of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who's been training, trying to get back to full fitness. And I think had India won the series 2-0, they wouldn't have bothered him. Now that it's 1-1 going to Headingley, they'll probably try and see how fit he is and they'll want him back. So that's the change you'd probably want back in for the.
That's the change. I'd really like to go with Gautam's suggestion and go and see Dinesh Karthik batting at 5 or 6 as well. And that's something you can do there. Because see, look at it that way. Akshar Patel does not find a place out here because you don't know where to place him. As an all-rounder, he's just not a good enough batsman to force his way in. Shardul Thakur over Siddharth Kaul is one of 6 or 1/2 dozen. You could try him probably. He's a bit faster, but you know, if you've given Siddharth Kaul, you probably need to give him a bit of a run at it. I would say if Bhuvaneshwar doesn't come back, the only try I would make was to try and see why not try Dinesh Karthik.
Akshar conveys messages well though, that's what he did today to MS Dhoni. So he's doing that pretty well. But would you agree there, if you had obviously Bhuvaneshwar, you try and get him in, but possibly Dinesh Karthik in?
Depending on his fitness as well. I would not try to risk him just for a one-day game because there's a 5 test match series and Bhuvi is going to be a very crucial factor as well, especially with the Duke ball. So what the team management would be thinking is rather than risking him in a one-day series, and if there's something happens to him, that they don't want him to be out of the test series as well. They feel that he's going to be a very, very important member of the test 11. So that's the reason. But I would rather play Shardul Thakur for Siddharth Kaul. He's got a bit more pace, he's got a bit more variation as well, and maybe with the new ball he might end up giving you 1 or 2 wickets with that outswing as well. So rather just try Shardul Thakur. You've seen what Siddharth Kaul gives you, and if you'll like how Virat Kohli and everyone is saying that they're looking to experiment, rather give him a go in English conditions and see what he delivers.
Even with a 2-week break till the first test match at Edgbaston?
Look, depends on the injury as well. Sometimes if you aggravate something and if you try and rush a player into the side too early, and if there's something happens to him and if it becomes a longer injury, as I just said, that they would not want to risk him, because unless and until they feel that okay, Bhuvi is not that important in Test cricket, they would have they've already decided on their first 3 seamers, and if Bhuvi is not part of that first 3 seamers, then they might just push him for the one-day game. But if they feel that Bhuvi is there in the top 3, I would still see if he's absolutely 100% fit, because one-day cricket demands a lot as well. It's about absolutely fit in the field as well, and then bowling in the first 10 and bowling in the 10th overs is a completely different ball game coming as compared to test matches as well, because in test matches you sometimes to just try and bowl those length, and even if you're 120, 125 and try and see off that spell, it's okay. But then in one-day cricket you can't just be up 50 or 60%, you got to be 100% all the time, because one-day cricket is very ruthless, especially against this England batting. You got to be absolutely on the mark, otherwise they can hurt you very badly.
Yeah, we've heard maybe a possibility of some niggles for Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow, but we won't delve on that too much. Morgan didn't even mention anything about it. So England really have no problems with the momentum of this victory going to Headingley.
Yeah, I think they'd be telling themselves, we had a bad day. We proved that it was just a bad day. We are back to our 300 scoring ways. Our bowling is able to defend at 300, and once again, the important thing is they'll be saying that if I get early wickets, we have a chance. And hey, look at this lineup also. I mean, who would you change? Really, everyone has done their job, and even Alex Hales right now with Root scoring the way he is, I would hesitate to change anything out here.
Mark Wood's done enough to keep his place ahead of Jake Paul, presumably.
Yeah, there's no particular reason, though he bowled just 5 today, but there was he didn't look particularly off colour or anything, or he wasn't taken off. They just had more variety, they had an opportunity, they got 5 out of Stoke, so it didn't matter. The moment Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid managed to bowl their quota of 20, you knew that Mark Wood and this thing, Ben will not finish.